Her life, Jodi Arias was sentenced to a lifetime in prison without the possibility of parole. Mourning of her deceased ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, was heard throughout the courtroom by his loved ones through their last words to Arias.
Hillary Clinton formally announced her run for the 2016 presidential election this past Sunday. As her 2008 presidential campaign focused solely on her accomplishments, she decided to take a different approach to her campaigning this year.
Here's a little surprise for those Rolling Stones fans. The rock and roll legends are going on tour again this summer at Summerfest. Some of those waiting in line walked away empty-handed, while others took to the internet for their American Express card option to get what they wanted.
Wake up, Susquehanna. I'm Brianna Murphy.
And I'm Samantha Torino. Let's get straight into the breaking news. Jodi Arias has been sentenced to a lifetime in prison without the possibility of parole. Arias has been found guilty in May of 2013 for the murdering of her on-off boyfriend, Travis Alexander, 5 years prior. Because two previous juries were unable to decide whether or not she should receive the death penalty, the final sentencing decision was up to Judge Sherry Steffens at today's hearing. Steffens has to rule on whether Arias would serve her natural life in prison or have the possibility of parole after 2 years.
As for the presidential election, yes, you've heard it correctly, Hillary Clinton will be running for president yet again in 2016. Clinton released a campaign video just yesterday that features a group of Americans talking about preparing for different life events. I'm getting ready to do something. I'm running for president, Clinton says. Clinton also tweeted the announcement, sharing her campaign website with followers and unveiling the campaign's new logo.
Greek Week is underway here at Susquehanna University with its biggest event still yet to come. At the end of the week, to others, it might be known as Greek Sing or Greek Dance, but to here and the fellow Greek community members here at SU, it's known as Air Band, the most competitive event of yet. So head on over to Weber Chapel at 8 p.m. on Friday to see the Greeks dance their way to the top.
In other events, a presentation on students' rights was held in Isaac's Auditorium in Seibert Hall, March 18th. Let's take a look.
As part of Susquehanna University's Community Week, PRSSA brought in Mary Beth Tinker, a students' rights activist, to speak to students regarding their First Amendment rights. Here are a few excerpts from her inspiring speech.
There have been about 1,000 soldiers killed by then in Vietnam, that Christmas, 1965. As we lit the Yule candles and my dad would read to us from the Bible. But on TV, we didn't see love, we didn't see brotherhood. We saw the adults of the world killing and bombing. They decided, what if we take some black armbands and we just wear them to school? And this will be our message that we're mourning for the dead. The news found out about it. They came around to the house. Some people in town were really, really mad about what we had done. And they started sending us hate mail, and they started getting on the radio and threatening our family. And then they threatened to bomb our house even.
We got the privilege of speaking privately with Mary Beth after her presentation.
It was crazy. I mean, when we wore the armbands to school, there were just a few of us, I think about 7 kids, and we had no idea it was going to be such a big deal. And then, you know, it went to court, and all these reporters started coming around, and then we won at the Supreme Court, and I just couldn't believe that all of this happened. And ever since, I've been trying to figure out, so now what do I do with all of this? And that's why I decided I should go and tell students about it and encourage you to stand up for something you care about, something you believe in, and make our world better and our democracy better.
If you'd like to learn more about Mary Beth, her story, or the Tinker Tour, visit her website at www.tinkertourusa.org.
And we'll be right back.
Lens flare is one of the practicums in the communications department for broadcasting students. And basically we do film in the studio, and we'll go out and film events. We also do types of game shows, and it's basically just to get kids more experience with equipment and broadcasting in general.
It counts for our practicum credit, so each communications major needs 2 practicum classes. So it just helps you learn what the real world is like.
Right now we have been working on Jeopardy, so we'll do about 3 or 4 rounds of Jeopardy each class. And so so people will be able to work with the camera or in the control room or be contestants. And so we kind of just cycle around and everybody gets a really good chance to work with every type of equipment.
So it's helped me learn to edit videos and go out when I am in the field. So it's going to help me learn how to record videos and really know what I'm doing.
Do you wish you could make a more nutritious meal without all the hassle? Well, now you can with the NutriBullet. Just put in all your natural ingredients like fresh fruit, yogurt, and flaxseed, and add just a little bit of water. And mix. It's that easy. And washing the parts is a breeze. The NutriBullet comes with 2 unique mixing blades, the 16-ounce cup and the ready-to-go cup, all for just 3 payments of $29.99. Just $29.99. Call the number on your screen for details.
Welcome back, everyone. Seasons are opening and seasons are coming to a close. We have some of the biggest sports headlines right here for you. In the NBA, Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics and Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs were named the NBA's Eastern and Western Conference Players of the Week for their efforts in their games from April 6th to April 12th. In the MLB, something the MLB hasn't seen before, a G mask. Marlins players Giancarlo Stanton got the okay to wear the mask after a brutal fastball to the head during a game last September against the Brewers. Mets won their home opener in a shutout against the Phillies with a clinching 2-0 score at the conclusion of the game. In the PGA, the Masters are well underway, and Jordan Spieth is leading as the first-round winner. In Susquehanna, men's baseball came to a close call during the Moravian Greyhounds this past Sunday afternoon, trailing 9-4 during the 5th inning. However, they came out in the 9th inning with a few walks and a sacrifice fly. They traveled to Albright on Tuesday. Women's softball came out with a win to start their doubleheader against Moravian, but unfortunately fell to the Greyhounds in a close 5-4 loss. The women are ready to gear up their game against Scranton next Saturday. Pierce Meade was named the Landmark Conference Lacrosse Defense Player of the Week. Meade started in a 13-3 game against Washington and Jefferson this past Saturday. And another wonderful program here on campus is the men's club lacrosse team, which started during their 2013 season. Let's take a look at some of the progress the leaders of the team.
I had the pleasure of sitting down with Susquehanna Club Lacrosse captain and president Anthony DePaula, along with the team's goaltender Decker Dupe. These 2 club lacrosse players were kind enough to inform us about the history of Susquehanna's young club lacrosse program, as well as the ins and outs of starting a fully student-run club organization.
About 2 years ago, me and Eric Jacobs both wanted, after things not working out with the varsity program, wanted to continue playing lacrosse, and felt that the only real way to do that, and still compete too, that's the thing, is also the competition part. So we got started with that, started filling out paperwork and trying to get guys signed up and all that interest. At first there were about 10 of us, then it probably went up to almost 30, and then by the end of the year we had like a core maybe 20 guys.
It takes a lot of effort to talk to different schools, to actually time manage everything that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into it that you don't know, just with even just getting funding, creating budgets, talking to SGA, talking to different teams, talking to coaches, other administrators, a lot of other faculty at schools and at Susquehanna to get a lot of things done that you don't necessarily think about, which I learned this year being the president.
The only issue was always making sure you're turning papers into the right people and making sure you're filling out the right paperwork. So it's a lot of work with student activities. Then also, your student government also approves your budget, so you have to work with them. And then being a sport, you need field time, so that's, Mr. Finley, Coach Finley, who's in head of field assessment. So it's just going through different, talking to different people and going through different circles is the only real challenge that comes with starting a club or something like that.
They budget it with different organizations. You can get a supplemental budget, which is essentially extra money that they have over the year. We were granted a little over $1,500 for the year because we needed it in order to continue operations. But I recently created a budget and that all clubs at this school do, along with hockey and other clubs of different natures. you create a budget for the next year, and you set a nominal amount that you'd like to receive. And SGA, they go over it with all the treasurers from every year, and they go over it, and they kind of allocate the different amounts of money for per team, per club, depending upon how much they want and how much they deem necessary that they actually need with their reasoning. We had a coach last year, but he got a job at Widener, so he's no longer with us. And so we're just essentially just student run, have practices. I schedule all the games. A lot of club lacrosse teams that are in our conference and that we play are also student run. Just a lot of kids, kids like me, just texting back and forth, trying to set games up. And we have people with the NCLO, which is a league we are in. They set up everything with the referees and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just kind of students running everything. Not a lot of teams have actual coaches.
With Final 15, I've never seen my body grow that fast. Looking at, myself in the mirror when you're working out, just, getting pumped up, and you can't believe, what your shoulders look like. You're doing more pull-ups and push-ups, and the fat just melts off of you. Don't procrastinate. Do it.
Welcome back, everyone, on this lovely Tuesday morning. Bree, what do you have for us for this week in pop culture? Tell us.
Well, Sam, let's get into this week's hot and cold topics on what's going on outside of the studio and beyond just Susquehanna. Starting off with a hot topic just for you. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel welcomed their newborn son into the world this past Saturday. This was Timberlake and Biel's first child together, named Silas Randall Timberlake. Speculations were circulating throughout media about whether or not the couple was pregnant, until Timberlake took to Instagram to reveal the couple was in fact expecting on his birthday back in January. He says, "Thank you everyone for the B-Day wishes. This year, I'm getting the greatest gift ever. We can't wait. Hashtag boy or girl, hashtag you never know, hashtag we don't even know, hashtag we are taking bets."
Ireland Baldwin, daughter of Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, is seen by her family as a non-stop partier. Seeing that her partying habits were an issue, she has confirmed her check-in to a rehab facility in Malibu, California for her treatment. She took to Twitter to explain the matter through numerous tweets. One in particular, Baldwin stated, "Apparently I'm in rehab for intensive partying, so I'm just going to lay low for a bit and maybe get some frozen yogurt."
On to another hot topic, one that happened this past weekend. Coachella Weekend 1 ended, and there were celebs all over the place, some dancing music to their favorite artists, while some of their favorite artists decided to perform together, some way too close for comfort. Rapper Drake, 28, and Madonna, 56, shared an intimate moment on stage with a short mouth-to-mouth kiss at the event. Drake looked disgusted in numerous photos taken of performance, but later commented that he was not at all disgusted. Later, both performers Instagrammed the infamous photos to their own Instagram accounts.
Justin Bieber got a little too intimate with Ariana Grande at her concert at the Forum in Inglewood, California last Wednesday night. This alleged fake tweet from Grande's sweetheart, Big Sean, stated, "This kid is about to learn not to touch my girl like that. Believe that." Later, Big Sean reported to media that the tweet was bogus and he is completely fine with the Biebs.
You heard it correctly earlier. The legendary rock and roll group, the Rolling Stones, are back at it. Their debut at Summerfest is coming this summer in Wisconsin, and ticket buyers had a tough time in a 7-minute window to purchase their tickets to see the infamous group perform. Online at Ticketmaster.com and at the event itself. Maybe this is their last time? We don't know. Hopefully more shows to come. American Express cardholders had their shot to purchase their tickets for the event in a pre-sale that also was sold out a short time after the tickets were released.
Bree, that can't be it about celebrities in the news. We definitely have our own right here at Susquehanna.
That's right, Sam. Let's take a look at one of our field reporters, Trey Bailey, and his discussion with student musician Johnny Culver about his accomplishments at Susquehanna University. Let's take a look.
Thanks for being with us today. I'm here with Johnny Culver. For me, the first song that caught my attention with you is your cover of I Look to You by Whitney Houston, which currently has 49,653 listens on SoundCloud. What made you choose this song, and why do you think it became so famous?
The engineer who worked at the production company I was signed to, he suggested that I needed a song that showed off my vocal skills. And that was a newer song around the time, so I got, in the studio and just recorded that one. And I think it's the most listened to just because it's Whitney Houston, and a lot of people love her. So,
who was your inspiration as you went through your music career, musically and non-musically?
The person I learned to sing from is my mom, just mimicking her, and then I'd say just people who use their voice. Growing up, so I listened to Mariah Carey, I listened to a lot of gospel artists like Mary Diamond Perkins. Presently, it's probably Beyonce, John Legend, so yeah.
Okay. So Johnny, what's a song you personally wrote that's your favorite?
A song I did called You the One, my freshman year in college actually, and it's catchy, corny kind of song, but I love it.
Okay, so talk about your time progressing through your music career in a rough city like Newark, New Jersey. What were some obstacles you had to overcome?
I think my biggest obstacle was finding people that were truthful and honest, and people who weren't selfish, who wanted to see me progress and weren't in it for themselves. Another thing is just having to deal with a lot of different personalities, artists in Newark.
What's next in Johnny Culver's music career?
Next is a mixtape, and hopefully just being able to go on some sort of tour opening or my own.
The most prominent and sought-after events in all of fashion. It's Fashion Week, and my lovely co-anchor Bree has a scoop for you on what's hot and what's not during this year's Fashion Week. Bree?
Hi Jessica, how's New York? Tell me all about your week.
Hi Bree, I've never been so happy to be in New York. The city is so amazing, and the designs are amazing, and the fashion is unbelievable.
Ugh, I'm so jealous. So what have you noticed to be the top trends for spring of 2015?
Well, I've only been to J. Crew, Michael Kors, and Ralph Lauren today, but from what I can tell, the most common trend has to be the 70s.
The 70s, really? What kind of clothes? What have you seen?
Well, they definitely covered it all, I think. Fringe, faux fur, gauchos. I even noticed Michael Kors' display of brown tweed jackets.
That's amazing. What designers have really caught your eye?
That's really hard. Well, they're all really different and unique, so it's kind of hard to pick who is my favorite so far, but I don't know.
Okay, well, who surprised you the most?
I definitely have to say J. Crew, I think. They did a great job of incorporating a pop of color into their designs, while at the same time keeping it classy and preppy, as they usually do, and it was super simple, but definitely drew a lot of attention.
Cool. And I heard a lot of top models be walking the catwalk today. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. I've seen a handful of beautiful models in New York so far, and there's ones like Kelly Fair, Amanda Murphy, and Kendall Jenner, who I heard will be opening the show for DVF.
Wow, that's a gorgeous lineup. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Thank you.
Bree.
We're going to take a short break, but stick around. We have your local weather coming up, so stay tuned.
Are you tired of greasy, fattening food? Do you want something fresh and healthy, but don't have the time to make a home-cooked meal? The new Greens to Go at Benny's has just the food for you. Pick from the menu or make your own salad or wrap. With crisp lettuce, fresh veggies, and over 11 dressings to choose from, there's something for everyone. Add grilled chicken, seasoned steak, broiled salmon, or tofu to complete your lunch. Now that you can get your greens to go, eating healthy isn't hard at Susquehanna.
The Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded on the campus of Howard University on January 9, 1914. It's a fraternity that fulfills the duties of a business that obtains the pillars of brotherhood, scholarship, and service. Phi Beta Sigma is the best fraternity to ever step, the best fraternity to ever stroll, and the first fraternity to use the cane. However, stepping and strolling is nowhere near our main concern. So what is our main concern, you may ask? We can tell you that it is the cost of prematurely born children. This is why our philanthropy is March of Dimes. March of Dimes was originally founded by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in efforts to find the cure for polio. To find the cure for polio, the resources were then converted to March of Dimes and helping the cost of premature babies. Did you know that having a premature child costs 10 times the amount of having a healthy born child? The cost associated with premature birth in the U.S. is $26.2 billion each year. Let's come together today to help lower these costs for families. Take a stand with Phi Beta Sigma and let's make a change.
Welcome back to Wake Up Susquehanna. Let's take it on over to the Master of Meteorology, Nick Sterolakis, for our local weather.
Thank you, Bree. I'm Nick Sterolakis. Here's the forecast for this week in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. On Monday, it'll be rainy with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Tuesday, we'll see a little bit of rain with a high of 52 and a low of 23. Wednesday, you'll be able to go outside finally with a high of 58 and a low of 35. On Thursday, those pesky clouds will be back, but will be no rain with a low or a high of 40 and a low of 27. And on Friday, unfortunately, we'll see some more light rain with a high of 38 and a low of 22. That's the weather for you. Back to the studio with you, Bree.
Thank you, Nick. Man, I miss that warm weather.
Me too. I can't wait for summer to get here. There's been a handful of changes on campus this year, and I waited on the matter as I was curious to see what the feeling students had. Let's take a look.
The college life. Rushing to class. Trying to get your assignments done in enough time, but procrastination being your middle name, you never get anything done until the last minute. Late night, and that doesn't only mean the casual late night Dunkin' runs for fuel that you have to make with your friends in order to stay alive. Trying to socialize, but having to say, sorry, I have a bunch of stuff I have to get done, or sorry, I have practice. Being free to choose whichever career path, majoring in this, minoring in that, the choice is yours and the choices are endless. Paying the bills for your off-campus housing and actually paying bills, which your parents are shocked by. These are just some of the basic college fundamentals and problems that most college attenders face. For some college, life is easy. Congratulations if that was you. And for others that are still trying to figure that out, that's okay. Here at Susquehanna, you can find all those fundamental challenges on the academic scale and on the grander scale. However, this past year, some of the changes that were made were more tracks events, which is the on-campus club, free giveaways for every 200 people that attend events, better food options, and some might say, sadly, an off-campus.
Thank you, Sam. Seems like off-campus housing is the hot topic on this one.
From what I got, all students wanted that sense of freedom, and hopefully that changes during the years to come.
Oh, that's good. Another one of our very own field reporters took to SU campus to report on his many talents some of SU students have been showcasing in their very own original play.
Students at Susquehanna University performed an original play this week centered around diversity. Susquehanna University hired an activist in residence to help them create the play.
Well, the activist in residence spot is annual, so this is the 5th activist in residence, which is a series that comes out of the Center for Diversity and Social Justice. But this time, the person who came to campus as an actor and director created with students the first original production.
Dale Shields was this year's activist in residence and is known for his acting and theater work, including appearances on Saturday Night Live and The Cosby Show.
This person who came, Dale Shields, actually wanted to have students work with him for 3 weeks and create something. then he described a little bit about what he wanted to do over the next 3 weeks, which was to work with them on a piece that would weave together different aspects of their writings, movement, dance, song, and a lot of things around identity and acceptance, and put this together into a creative work.
Students from all different majors came to audition for the play, named I Am Susquehanna, Voices of Community.
They range from business, biology, sociology, English, and all the way from first-year students up to seniors. So there were 15 students, ranged, all the way across classes, different academic majors, from different places, some from city environments, some from just outside of Selinsgrove. So it was a real good mix.
Susquehanna hopes that the play will aid in the spreading of awareness and the issues surrounding diversity.
Sometimes we think of, when you hear diversity, it's whoever it is that there's not a lot of. So it's black students, or it's gay students, or it's Chinese students. But really, I think this play was a good example that, there was probably, I think there were 5 white students. So by looks, they don't appear diverse. And I guess part of the message is that we really bring distinct experiences. And that's a form of diversity. And there's all kinds of invisible things we don't know about each other. Backgrounds like our economics, our religion, our sexual orientation. You're sitting in a room of people that are not like you, and we just don't get it half the time. We just don't know that. And so it's just encouraging an openness to learning about each other. And so I think this play was a real good example of that, because the cast was a very mixed cast in all kinds of ways, and so was the audience. So I think people are hungry for this kind of stuff.
Thanks for joining us on another edition of Wake Up Susquehanna.
Stay tuned tomorrow for more on all of your worldly news and news from right here at home. Bye, everybody.